And we are live. Right. First of all, I'm going to thank everyone for coming in. This stream is Mortal Kombat, but it's more to do with Cole Young. And then we'll get into some discussion about anything Mortal Kombat wise after. But today, for the first time ever, I've got a couple of guests. So I'm going to introduce first one of my boys, Future Boy. And here he is. There's Future Boy.
Well, hey. It isn't Future himself.
Oh, hang on. I probably need to turn you up. Hang on.
Mark, why did
it's me. Yeah, it's me. I forgot to turn up my volume. And the second guy I'm going to introduce is one of our newcomers to the Earth Realms of Mortal Kombat, and that's Lose Life. So I'm going to introduce him. Hey!
Whoa, what up? What up, boys?
How's it going? So this is new for all of us. Our first triple stream, first trio. So this could go anywhere. So what I'm going to try and do is I'll talk for a bit, and then I'll pass on to Future Boy, see what he says, and then I'll pass on to you, Lou, and then see what you say. So it could be anything. It could just be yes, no, whatever, and then just move on. So how many people are watching at the minute? We've got a whopping 6 people watching.
Love it.
But what's good about this? What's good about this is that people can watch back and see what we say. So it's going to be there. So yeah. Right, so you can introduce yourselves. So, Future Boy, you go first. You can plug yourself.
Okay.
Go for it.
Well, people, Future Boy, Kamaka in the flesh again. Nice to see you guys all over the place. Yeah, it's good to actually be on here again. I'm not used to doing these live streams and all this, but it's enjoyable. I do like it. So, yeah, nice to see you guys.
Nice one. And Lou?
Yeah, so it's Lou's Life. We've got a YouTube channel, everything about Mortal Kombat. And yeah, just excited to be here because just to talk about Mortal Kombat, boys, I'm ready for tomorrow.
Yes, the release day is tomorrow, but there's still no cinemas open round by me, so can't see. It's a shame, and I'll be working as well. Yeah, so I'll be like, it's at work, I'll be like, everyone else is watching Mortal Kombat but me. So
oh mate.
Yeah. Sorry, Future Boy, you said something? Sorry, because it's a bit jumpy.
Oh, no, I just said, yeah, pretty much.
The connection, I love it.
Yeah. We're live. If it goes awry, we're just gonna have to deal with it. I got my cat trying to jump up at me as well. So if you see me go, so it's crawls in. So right, so the thing I wanted to do today is actually get into the Cole Young character, because people don't seem to. They speculate about who he is and what powers he's got, but I want to get a bit deeper. I want to see the evolution, to see what would be next. How could they push him in a sequel? What could they do to flesh him out more, develop him more? So this is what the bulk of this is going to be, and then after we can just get into each and every one of yours discussion and see what you want to talk about. It could be different things. So basically, it's more to do with Cole Young. See if we can get him a fan base. People are like, oh, Cole Young, oh, he's not a Mortal Kombat character. Let's try and make him one. Let's try and get him there. Because even at the start, I was off. I was like, why are they bringing in a new character for? And over time, you seem to think, you say to yourself, well, it's something new, and they're always bringing in new characters into the games. So why not, open yourselves up to a new character and then develop from there, see how the character evolves from what we see. So let's go by like we haven't been spoiled. So pretend we haven't been spoiled, and we just assume that his power is this golden suit. But I think we kind of know that it's a power that grants him some sort of bracelet, this bracelet that his daughter gives him, and that the power within him kind of makes it expand around him. So this is what I gather. So he has a power within him to, I want to say, like manipulate, like on a molecular level, to what his mind wants at that time. So we know he fights Goro, and Goro hits like a son of a gun. So he's going to want some sort of armor around him, isn't he? That's what you're going to think. So how can I protect myself? So he thinks about protection, and this thing forms on him. And we can see that when he gets hit, it starts to glow and absorb the energy. And then he can transfer that energy. And he creates them tonfas and the blade tonfa from the energy. So what would be your take on his arcana now that I've tried to say what I think it is? So if I go to Future Boy first, what did you think it was at the beginning?
At the beginning, I'd say when I first heard of it or saw it, I just thought literally that was a piece of armor or something that maybe he had that he gets from Raiden or someone who has that, or maybe it's something that he discovers that's a part of his ancestry, which is like a secret to who he is. I thought that's probably what that armor was when we first ever saw it in the trailer, and I thought it looks like he's wearing rocks on his body or something like that has done on his body. We didn't know exactly what it was, so I couldn't tell. So like, wait, I don't like it at first because I thought it seemed like it was Play-Doh or something, but then I realize now when you see it in a more clearer perspective that it's something completely different. But with what you've said, yeah, I mean, I gather now that it is genuinely a part of his power, but it's just how much can it evolve? That's the real question that I think we all are thinking. Does it have a limitation, or is it something that keeps on going? And like a cool thing to think about is kind of like how this is a completely different topic, but like how Doomsday is with in DC. You can kill him multiple times, but he can keep getting stronger by that. So it holds armor similar to that. So anything that really would be a crushing, deadly blow to him, can it make it so that the next time around it does absolutely nothing to him?
Yeah, it's the problem with that then is what aim for the head.
Yeah. It's always aim for the head. Anyway.
Aim for the head. So
whatever it is.
We'll get into how I would evolve it, which would limit your concerns about, does it expand or whatever. So I'll be getting into that. So what about you then, Lou? What was your first take?
So like I'd actually agree with Future. Like at first I thought it was like some kind of armor that like Raiden was gonna give it to him at some point or something. But then obviously seeing from the trailer that like he's like powering up and whatnot. But it kind of seems like over time, like have you guys seen the MacGyver movies?
The MacGyver movies, or
yeah.
Guyver.
Guyver. It's like, mate, I'd literally thought like that, like just like just over time, like it would just like develop into like just more than just like the body armor. Like it will have like a helmet and stuff like that actually go on. But maybe in the upcoming sequels, maybe. Yeah,
I mean, don't forget, he's only just discovered his power, so he there's a lot there for him to discover as the time goes on. And if it is what I think it is, and it's a power within him that he can manipulate on a molecular level to what he wants at that time, with anything he's got, it could be metal or whatever. Yeah. Then I come with the idea that it could be like a sort of like a Green Lantern type of character, which is what they're going for. But instead of I can see that actually. Instead of thinking it and it just pops up, he has to build the energy for it to manifest. So if he wants something big, he will have to gather up as much energy as he can for it to manifest over, like, a couple of seconds or 10 seconds, something like that. not straight away, but enough time for him to retaliate to an attack or adjust to an attack. So this is what I'm thinking that they will turn the character into, because with the Tonfa, it was like a defense. So he's fighting Goro. He's thinking defense. How can I defend against this thing? So first thing that comes to his mind was, I need to block his attacks. So that's why I thought the Tonfa, the block Tonfa. But then he's probably thinking, well, how can I defend my family and kill this beast? And then the other one was a blade version. So he was thinking Tonfa, but it turned into a blade. So this is where I'm thinking that what they're thinking when they were making his character. So what do you think about that? You got one that's a defense against Goro's attacks, and the other one is to literally counter against his attacks. So I'll go to Future first.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think the Green Lantern styling works really well for it. To be fair, I wasn't really expecting a Green Lantern type of say to come out, but I really do like that. Like especially the thought of his own thoughts, like how lanterns work, its constructs, and you have to think of those things, and it brings it all out. So yeah, I think that's pretty brilliant actually. But then again, Dave, there's your mind and then there's Hollywood's.
Yeah.
So
Hollywood doesn't really think. We know that. They don't like to come up with almost original concepts. But I mean, at the minute, if they do Cole good and they really want to push him as a new character, then they're going to have to do something new to at least the Mortal Kombat universe. And we know that the MK and DC universe have crossed over, and Green Lantern's in DC. So they probably got that sort of idea to have that type of idea of a Green Lantern, but not full blown where he'll think of something and he just straight away. He has to build up with it.
Out a gun out or something.
Yeah, it's he has to really think. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so
it
has
like
to
Rambo
really
or something like that, wouldn't it? Full on shout.
Well, if you think about what he has to do and use, if he has to use the armor around him to manipulate what he wants, if he has to turn it into a gun, he's just firing away his armor. Do you see what I mean? There's going to be nothing left.
Yeah, true.
So he needs to keep that as long as he can. So if I go to you, Lou, what do you think of the overall concept that I've just come up with?
Yeah, mate. I could actually see that, from the trailers, from what you're saying, it does actually put pieces into the puzzle kind of thing. But one of the things that you were saying, with the Green Lantern, taking in the energy kind of thing, you could actually see that as a Black Panther kind of thing as well.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that's what they were going for as well. They were doing a mix.
Mate, that
kinetic
would be
energy.
insane. That would be so sick. I don't know, see some kind of explosion or some shit.
Yeah,
goes and grabs him.
You can see why they went.
Or something, mate.
Yeah, you can see why they went with the kinetic energy route, because Black Panther with his suit and collecting the energy is a good concept on its own. You can see why they kind of tried to copy it, but I think they need to expand on it to really make Cole stand out. So if they're going to progress him, it's what could they do? And this is why we're going to do the discussion today. So this is why I'm thinking the energy is actually within him to charge up by himself without getting hit. So he can literally power up himself because he's fresh, he's new, he doesn't know how to control it. But if you're in a fight yourself, you get hit. Say if you're in a fighting match and you get hit, you really want to attack that person back. And you seem to gain a bit of that energy in yourself to want to attack. So if they go with that way of Cole channeling his energy within him to want to attack, use that to be the external, the internal being external, and he can manipulate what he wants at that time with whatever he wants that's on him, that's close to him, which will expand him more, make him stand out from all other Mortal Kombat characters so far. So that's why I thought it could possibly be a path to making him different. But yeah, I was talking to Future Boy about ways that he could use his powers in terms of attack. So we're going to get into it now. So I will get into. I'll do the attack after. I'll get into the suit first. You know, like the protection he was on about aiming for the head. So, if he wants to develop his powers more, he's going to need to manipulate his suit more to cover more of him. So he could literally manipulate the suit to cover not just his body but his legs, and come up with some sort of helmet. So it's an actual armor that covers all of him. So he could then he's covering all bases then, and he could have like a ninja style suit mask. You know, because he's related to Scorpion. We know now he's related to Scorpion.
That would be sick.
So he's related to Scorpion. So you can see that in honor of his ancestor, he could be something like a ninja, but not. But he will have that sort of ninja style mask. He could literally bulk out his armor to take more hits. And he could use his energy within to hit harder as well. So it's like that kinetic energy again, like when Black Panther hits back with the energy. You know, he could do something like that. But he now knows that he has to just cover all of him and not just his body. So how do you think about that? How do you think about that idea where he's literally now he can control armor around him, cover all his bases? So I'll go to Future Boy again.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty awesome. The only thing that I could possibly say is if he did have that and there wasn't a way to really get past him, would that be a way for them to maybe possibly make him the most OP character of all time in MK? Because I can see the people.
I see what you mean, but I've got a fail safe. I've always got a fail safe. He's still human, so he can still be mentally manipulated. He can still be weakened mentally, and if he's not focused, that could be his undoing. So he could, if he's not focused, it could be weak points. So I mean, you've got Shang Tsung's still there. You're going to have Quan Chi coming at some point, and they're just going to mind mess with him. You know, they could literally, like, say Quan Chi could take the form of his daughter and have it look like that she's killed or something, and then weaken him to the point where he's lost focus, and then he's open to attack. Things like that. So, Luke, what do you think of the body armor?
So, yeah, it sounds good. Does sound really good. But the only thing is that I would actually say, hopefully, that wouldn't actually make them like too overpowered, like you say, because when you was explaining that, I could literally see that like he would overshadow quite a few characters if that was actually a thing.
Yeah, I'll see what you mean.
But it does actually sound like it could actually maybe be a possibility. You never know. Like
it depends, because you could have, say, the main characters go on the traditional Mortal Kombat path, and Cole Young is used to basically take on like an army that's outside of the tournament. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, you see that. Like, so what, like he doesn't actually necessarily take place in the tournament as such? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
yeah. Sorry.
He could be in the tournament, but he's like taken away from it to do something that requires his power.
Yeah.
But he's on his own path, while we still see the likes of Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Sonya do their thing and actually fight in the tournament. So they both have on their paths, but they both complement each other. If one fails, you know, the other one's gonna fail. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So have it split off, and they both go on their separate paths. Then the Cole Young being too OP for other characters wouldn't really be a factor. If you see what I mean, because his power is required elsewhere. It's just a way of trying to not overshadow the main characters from the tournament itself.
That's it. Like you can't have that happen, because the outrage would just be. Yeah, I mean, there's enough. Turn it off, I'm sure.
There's enough rejection as it is to the character. There's enough rejection there, and they don't want to exacerbate that by having him really overshadow the main characters. So there we go. I want to get on to his weapons now. Now, as I said, he can manipulate what he wants at any given time, depending on what energy he's got. So if he's lacking in energy, he's not going to be able to manifest much. So he could probably manifest daggers. That would probably be the lowest level. So if he's being beaten up and he's low on energy, he could have a quick daggers. So if you want to step up from there, he could play with his swords. He could create swords, which Lewis Tan himself loves to play with. We know he loves to play with his swords. So give him his sword moment.
It's such a.
I know I'm playing the Kenshi thing as well.
He loves to play with his sword, mate. Sorry, man. That's all I heard.
It's degenerated already.
My man, sorry.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're.
I just got a message from YouTube. You are booted off. Oh, jeez. So another thing is he can, instead of doing two weapons, he can literally make one giant like axe, like a war axe, like a battle axe. So if he needs to literally chop down something in front of him, or he has to fight a bigger monster, he could manifest a axe or a massive mallet, like a war hammer, which, you know, you're trying to show that he has a diverse array of weaponry at his disposal. He could use anything. Yeah, when it comes to fighting on multiple people, again, he could have his swords, his daggers, like two-handed weapons. And then he could literally have, like, just to wade in, battle axes and war hammers and staffs. So it's just something to show that he has actually developed his power more as the time's gone on. So he's tuned in. So he knows how to use the energy within to manifest what he needs at any given time. So what do you think about the weapons? So this time I'm going to go to Lou this time. So let's swap it around a bit.
Yeah, sounds good. But yeah, I like the. I like the fusion. Like, in terms of like how he can actually maybe like turn his weapons into other things, and like in like over time he can maybe like I don't know about the Cabal. Yeah, mate. Yeah. I'm literally just thinking, like, imagine having a fight with Cabal and like halfway through he just changes his weapons to the same type of weapons. They just go a bit nuts.
Yeah, I can actually see that
like that. That would actually be like.
It's like
that is not overshadowing, but that is like, I love it.
Yeah, it's like I could see him like trying to battle off like waves of enemies with like a massive, like an axe or something, and it comes against someone like Cabal or a Baraka.
Oh yeah,
Baraka, or the Tarkatan Horde, and they're there with his weapons, and he realizes that this isn't enough. Even though I'm swaying with this massive mallet or whatever, it's not enough. So he could then change it, and then he could form Baraka type weapons himself to fight against them. So he's not just mimicking them; he's mocking them.
Yeah.
Showing that he's got.
I'll see your weapons, like, live what I can do, kind of thing.
Yeah. So that now he can copy what they do, and they're like, they're looking at each other, going, "What the hell's he doing here?"
Yeah.
So right, so he's demoralizing them at the same time. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I can see that happening. What about you, Future? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm down with it. Like, I like the idea when you said about the whole, and what Lou said about, you know, fighting hordes and stuff like that. Because, like, it got me to thinking MK11, you know, and Raiden's using his electrical sword things and he's, like, slicing through all them demons in the intro part of the game. Yeah. But, like, imagine him going up against the Horde of Tarkatans, and then he's just like, you know what? Okay, then forms his own blades, start slicing through them, and it works brilliant because you can utilize his powers to change blades to maybe be something of a necessity need against anything else, something that might not be able to fight. So, for example, say if they make Kintaro really something that's more stronger than Goro, there's certain type of things that might not work on his skin the same way it did Goro, but for him, it could possibly work that way if he learns to have that certain type of blade. So he kind of becomes accessible in many different ways, and also mimics other people by doing these type of things. So it doesn't overshadow other characters, but it puts him more in the universe. So then people are like, okay, then I can actually get even more behind him because he doesn't seem like he's just thrown there or placed here. There's something about him that makes him unique to a universe. So I like that idea. That's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's like just like in the last Mortal Kombat game where there's like characters doing different things and they're all going towards the same goal, but Cole Young is being used with his power to take on armies that outside of the tournament, because you could say that these armies are going to literally take over the tournament, so he needs to go and block them off to keep them from taking over the tournament, while our main characters are going by the rules and fighting off to try and win before the Horde get to them. So they could use Cole in that way. So he's having his moment, but he's not overshadowing the tournament at all. They're all mutual in their goal. But yeah, I don't think I'd like Cole going up against Kintaro because he's already gone against Goro. So I don't think you want to do the same beat. But I can see what you mean by you want to have that threat.
Against him, it was more me just giving an example of like, someone with harder flesh or someone with some type of way that they can't punch through or something that, he's able to do this because he can mimic something else to get through it.
Wouldn't it be good then, instead of Kintaro, if you say someone that needs harder flesh, what about him going against Tremor?
Are they...
would
have a complex because both of
he could fight Tremor because Tremor's like hard skin, rock skin, and blades wouldn't really work on him. So it's a different challenge for the Cole Young character. You can't just slice him up. You can't dice him up.
Yeah,
because he's got rock hard skin. So it's a new challenge. So it's another way to build up the Tremor character as it is, instead of being a side part that will just get killed off, willy nilly. It actually serves a purpose.
What happened?
You lost for words. Oh, well, you mentioned like the hard skin, and the first thing that came to my mind was Tremor, because of how different he is to everyone else in the game. And I reckon he'd fit in that sort of role of going against Cole Young, and Cole Young having a different type of challenge that's where he's slicing through hordes of Tarkatans and then comes across Tremor and nothing's working. Different challenge.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I think Tremor more because I've had it up to here with Baraka being the jobber at heart and being like swayed and knocked out. Scales, don't even get me started on Scales.
Scales. You mean Scales.
Scales in the screen.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. But I mean, I had a plan for say if I was to have done the movie, I would probably have done the tournament, but I would have saved Baraka for a sequel and had Baraka's general in place instead. So I don't. You've seen the cartoon, haven't you? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Carbrak?
Yeah.
Like something like that. Have like a general.
Mate.
To save Baraka for a sequel.
Yeah, mate. Because I also done one for the reptiles as well. I actually only recently watched, not recently for the first time, but I watched it like again recently.
Yeah. What was his name?
I'm trying to remember the name. Oh, mate, anyway.
I forgot. It escapes me.
Yeah, it's out of my head.
I even did a post on Twitter of all of the characters, didn't I? All in one montage. And I posted that up of all the original, all the original bad guys. Yeah, I posted that up. I forgot his name. Kombat.
No.
Kombat.
My boy got it.
I think, yeah,
Oh mate, man.
Things just, it gets there now and again.
We just got it. Love it.
Oh, jeez. But so we've gone over his weapons. So say if he's lacking in energy and he can't form the weapons, so he has to resort to defensive. So again, he can not just be attack, he can be a defensive warrior as well. So instead of like attacking and he has to block, he can form like shield, like a shield, or protrude his his armor out more to block things, but also he can use it to try and block others. Do you see what I mean? So if he needs to block a few people behind him and there's something flying, say Sub-Zero does his ice storm again, and he needs to create an umbrella, he could quickly build up the energy and form that umbrella to protect whoever's with him. Things like that. So it could, again, it's diversifying his power and showing that he has developed along the way, that he doesn't just have to use it as a weapon, he can use it as a defensive as well. So what do you think of him using forming defense? So I'll go to Lou again.
Yeah, so I think it can actually work. It kind of sounds like it's going around the route of Goku going into Ultra, he's on the offense and then going into the defense kind of thing. It does work. It's worked
without
in the
screaming
past.
and the shouting.
Oh mate, yeah. I mean, compared to Z anyway, after Zupa, but still.
Shouting for half
10
an
minutes,
hour.
10 minutes, 10 episodes, mate, of screaming. Mate, that's exactly what my parents used to say. It's like, "Are you watching that show that they just scream?"
Yeah.
But no, going back to Cole, I could see it. It can you know how you're saying it could flare off into other bits and stuff. Maybe they can actually use that as part of the defense. It goes onto him and it just flares up and then comes back to him in particles.
You could do something like that where he needs to literally fire off. You was on about using the Green Lantern where he's firing off the gun.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have to do that later on and totally make himself vulnerable. Where you think, oh no, he's got no defense.
That's it.
That would I think that would make people gravitate towards him more, because he's literally made himself vulnerable. Which is what we like. We like vulnerable characters who overcome things. So what do you think, Future? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I like it, especially the umbrella part you said. I think that would be pretty good, to be fair. I mean, I've never heard of a character form an umbrella out of his arm, but fair play. I'd be down to see that on the big screen, to be fair.
Well, say he's he doesn't do it with one arm. He could probably just block things with one arm, but then he has to do like Sub-Zero could form things with his ice. It's something like that. It would come out and it would form an umbrella sort of thing, something like that. But again, I'm just trying to make the Cole Yonko to seem like he's actually been developing his powers more, and he's actually spent time doing it instead of just going, yeah, I've got these powers now and I'll only use them when I need them. He's actually spent time trying to train, develop, come up with new ideas. His limits.
I agree. Everything that you're doing so far, you're saying is really good ideas. They're great things that he does need to even carry on in this entire universe, because a new character can get stale, but you're thinking of things to become really, really new and good. You're basically doing what Tekken did with Lars, how he first come in, no one cared, but he's actually pretty good later on in the games.
Yeah, again, you got to try and develop the character, and like you say, you can't keep them stale. You can't keep them having the same. I mean, we know how Sub-Zero and Scorpion go, but bringing in new moves and things that stand off from past games, it keeps them slightly more fresh. For you to make you want to keep playing them and still be interested.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, you know, they've kind of, when they created the Cole Young character, you must think that they think, well, you know, they've got a plan with him. They can't just slap him in there and go, right, we'll see how he goes. They must have had a plan to go, right, how can we develop this character if we go beyond this? You know, we've got this power for him now. How can we go beyond? They must have an arc for him.
Yeah.
You
definitely.
think that they would? If they're putting the whole film behind him as someone we should follow, then they should have a plan there ready. But again, the plan they could have could be something totally different to what we're discussing now. What was you going to say, Future Boy?
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, I think they will, but probably not as soon as we think. Because, like, when he did that tweet ages ago and he was like, if it goes well, he's signed on for 2 more films. So by him saying that, that must mean that maybe they're going to space him out instead of just throwing him in the direct line of the films like we might think they might, perhaps.
Do you think they could do a spin-off film with him?
Possibly. I think they might.
Do you reckon that'd be a better route than having him in the tournament and have him actually have his own story?
Yeah, because then you can have other type of things that show more of him mastering these powers, maybe doing this and that, because then they'll probably definitely for the sequel want to focus on Johnny Cage, obviously, and like, you know, Liu Kang possibly becoming more of the champion that he's meant to be. But if you've got someone like Cole as well, you've got to also show his progression. So maybe doing this solo thing with him
out too much.
Yeah, you can branch it off. This is why like solo films are great to have for this universe, which is why I'm glad they're doing it, because it's like you can have so many other films where you can tune in and look and follow this person's journey to see how far they can go, instead of trying to shoehorn half the movie of Liu Kang, the other half to say, oh, Johnny Cage is here, we want to focus on him. Then say, the last half, we've got to somehow squeeze Louis Tan's character in there, but still make Liu Kang win. You know, by giving the solo thing, it really shows a lot of development for him. And maybe if they listen to you, Dave, and they come up with your ideas, they can in that case, show a really good character.
This stream is probably a good case for his character to have his own film. I think Future Boy's lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like that.
I'm not. I'm still here, don't worry.
Yeah. Put the sunglasses down there, go to bed.
Do you reckon a potential own storyline? Because I saw you go when we mentioned that. So what do you think of a solo?
Again, it's for the solo film, mate. Yeah. It's for Cole Young. Like, it's the thing is that I'm actually seeing now. Like, we just have to adapt to the fact like the Mortal Kombat is going to be Cole Young story invested kind of thing. So I think we're going to have to, like, if it is going to be a solo film, it'll be like after many sequels, I reckon. Like I've seen like you can actually go off to like explore that he goes off and has like other, like, you know, developing his powers and stuff like that. But like I think that's like what they're going to do for like throughout the sequels at the moment. But like with the spin-off itself, like I could definitely see something coming from him, because he wants more. Like, he's ready to have like as many Mortal Kombats as possible. And if there's a solo thing, like, yeah, exactly. He is solo, a spin-off, like he will want to do it, mate. Like he's more than pumped. But I think like even if they were to do it like you see how much power that he's got, but then like it's just progresses so much. So like I say, like you've had like you got this film, you got like another 3 films or whatever, and you just see so much more during that time. But then also have like the solo after. Like I could just see like it'll be just so much more powerful in that sense, I suppose. But like I love the ideas of like him having
solo film sounds good. And then say Shao Kahn's in this second film, and you're on about fail safes because he's a bit OP with his power. I mean, you could Shao Kahn. They need to show Shao Kahn have not just his physical power, but show that he knows the dark arts as well. So maybe because he's like millions of years old.
Yes.
Because he craves battle. But if he needs to use his dark arts, he could manipulate Cole Young's energy as well. Maybe that's another failsafe, which would then make him go, "Oh no, Cole Young isn't the chosen one." And then Liu Kang could then step up to take on Shao Kahn. Again, it's another way to try and build up Cole, but make him vulnerable for him to not be the main person of the film. But he still has to play that part that helps the group out. Definitely. But again, it's like this is what the production company have done and the writers have done. They've kind of almost backed themselves into a corner doing a new character. So they've either got to make him go off on his own path and we follow him later on down the line, or they expand on him and risk having him overshadow the characters. This is what they've got to do with the writing. They're going to have to do something really good with the writing. And now they've got time. You know, they've got this film now to springboard from. So we're just going to have to see how they address him without diminishing others.
Yeah, so I think they're going to have like more, like Greg Russo is going to have more of a say in this.
Oh
because
yeah,
obviously he had so many things, like he had so many things to like pick up before. Yeah. So like now he's going to have even more of the freedom, and that I'm looking forward to. Like, mate, I'm looking forward to seeing more of his work because of like from what he's done already.
Well, for the mess that he had to clean up, I think he's done a pretty good job. So if I was Warner Brothers or whoever is producing the film next, I'd better call him first and say, right, you're on. Do what you got to do. Yeah. You know, give him bullet points to what they want, and then he's got the power to say, well, that won't work, or try and work around things. But they're going to have to give him a bit more power than he did last time. So I still think there's elements in this film that was left in. Which I don't think we should get into spoiler territory.
No. Right,
it's
so like hours away. No need.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I'm going to talk about is a possible name that I have for him. I have a possible NK style name. So it's more like a code, but
I'm ready.
Go on. So Cole Young, right now he's developed his powers. And you need something that's going to stand out. So I've just come up with one word, and that's cipher. Cipher.
That's pretty sick.
Because it's like he can still take energy. You know, when he's getting hit, he absorbs it. So he's siphoning energy, and he can use that energy and build it within him. So I thought, well, he siphons energy. Wouldn't cipher be a good name? He kind of works like what he can do at the moment. But I mean, that's just an idea. I thought cipher kind of. I mean, obviously, people think cipher from the Matrix. You know, so.
But you know what? I was trying to think why I heard that before. Yeah. It's like one of my favorite films ever. I can't believe I didn't get that.
Cypher's looking at the floor, going, "I know this steak isn't real." But ignorance is bliss. Yeah. But I was trying to think of a name that kind of suits, and I thought cipher kind of sounds different, but it stands out. But you could come up with your own names, and it'd be nice for like people online to come up with a name, and Louis Tan himself could pick one out and see if he likes it.
That'd be good. We could come up with a hashtag or something.
Hashtag Cole Young is cipher.
Yeah, Cole Young as cipher.
Yeah, it was just an idea. I just thought of it at work today. I thought, well, I'm coming up with this idea of like how to progress him as a character, and he's going to need a name. You know, like a name that people could like will know in the Mortal Kombat universe. And cipher, even though it sounds close to striker, but cipher. You know, there's a distinction there, but I think it just makes him stand out more.
Yeah,
and it kind of would legitimize him more as an NK character. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, well, praying for that. He's in DLC anyway.
I don't
Hopefully it'll
know.
come
I
up
don't
then.
know if anything's solidified there. If anything's
No,
official,
no,
people are just
I haven't heard
speculating
anything.
something terrible. I mean, if this film does well and people like the character, I don't think they'll mind him being in the game
For sure.
because he will be an actual
with the name you
character, I guess.
He's already a DLC character with that name. Reptile is officially out of the game.
Oh,
Oh,
never
mate.
mind. Maybe next game.
Yeah, never know. Whenever that's out.
Well, it depends. I mean, they're still going to be doing more with this game, aren't they? I don't know.
Yeah,
Are they
I
still
think
going to
they
be
are.
adding more?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if there's enough call for it, I mean, Molina fans got their wish.
yeah, mate. But to be fair, I mean, the amount of stuff like on Ed Boon's like Twitter, mate,
Yeah.
like literally, he just posted like the tiniest thing, and it like people commented on it saying,
Yeah.
"Where's Molina?" Like, and like he obviously done those tweets before, didn't he? Like saying like,
You can literally post up a picture of green paint, and people go, "Reptile, reptiles in." Yeah, and they'll come up with some sort of theory on how the green paint is for green skin and green blood, and yeah. And Ed Boon would just be there going, "I am the master troll."
Oh, mate, he does it all the time, man. He's been doing it for generations.
Yeah. So there we go. I've covered what I wanted to say now. So we'll see what you guys want to talk about. So I'll go to Future Boy. Is there any sort of topic you'd like to discuss over now while we've got time?
Well, mine was gonna be a really quick one. My topic was literally just about the whole Quan Chi incident that I said about, which was on the latest early 7 minutes thing. I was thinking, yeah, it's. I know a lot of people might think like yourself, Dave, who will have something to say against it. I'm waiting for that part after I've said my piece. but like with it,
I'll keep it short.
like with it, like,
He's already preparing. You're gonna get backlash for it.
So your theory is Subby Z is Quan Chi.
Zombies.
tried to rhyme that. I saw what you did there.
Yeah. sometimes they're there.
But like,
So-
nah, I mean, like, I did think that, but then I thought that maybe there's two of them actually there. The first one that speaks Chinese and Japanese, I think that is Quan Chi, whereas the other one is actually Bihan. Like you said, the part where he catches the Scorpion's dagger. And I thought, okay, that's true, because if it was Quan Chi and he wasn't there, he wouldn't know that. So that's probably why maybe both of them are in two different ways, and Quan Chi and him are possibly working together at that point in the actual film. But he obviously isn't telling him the reason for doing it, maybe.
Yeah, it's like Baihan was there to just fight and kill Hanzo and was waiting for him, sitting down. He's there waiting for him, while Quan Chi is killing the family off and the clan. So yeah, that could be a way of explaining it, where if you want to try and humanize Baihan as not being that much of a B-tard, you could have him that he didn't know about the family and clan. He was just there to fight the best fighter at the time, which was Hanzo. So then that would bring Baihan some honor. So people would gravitate towards him more, that he was just there for him, not for everyone else. And I don't know whether you heard in the 7-minute clip where when the family's inside, you hear what sounds like ice, but it could be the sound of like magic. The sound I'm on about, where it sounds like
really?
It could be the sound of magic, not ice. So
Really?
no one was
I'm gonna have to
outside
look at
frozen.
that.
Did you notice no one was outside frozen, but you heard the ice sound? So it could be that he's used his magic to kill. So again, it's just being a bit observant and thinking, well, I heard ice, but I don't see ice.
Yeah.
And then again, like you said, you're looking at look at the way he was looking at the kid and his wife, like doing the old, the old eyes, the odd movement. So yeah, I could see him. I could see that being Quan Chi.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. It's a good one.
Even the hands, when he magic or the ice or however he was trying to reproduce it, his hand like it hurt him to do, and there was blood coming from it. So I thought, is his magic not able to reproduce cryomancery, but it is able to form stuff to look similar to it? Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, you couldn't really call it a plot hole either. You could just say it's Quan Chi. He's a sorcerer. He could just do things like that. But you can get away with that. I think that would work if any of them are listening. If Todd Gardner's listening, I hope he's listening. I hope he's here.
He better be listening right now. Stop, yeah.
It's like
stay bank in the chat.
You could easily have that as Quan Chi going to the family and the clan, and then having Baihan waiting in the woods for Hanzo. I reckon that would be a good little twist.
Yeah.
Because Quan Chi gets both things what he wants then. Hanzo's defeat as well, pawn to use, but then he also fuels that vengeance to actually make him more of a pawn for him to use by making his aggression be towards Bihan. Bihan doesn't have a clue that the family were killed. He just thought he's just going to lead him towards him in the
He was sent off on an assassination mission, and the Quan Chi could do the deal with the Lin Kuei Grandmasters and say, right, and the Grandmasters like, get rid of all of them for me. Thanks, mate. Something like that. It could be like a backhand deal behind Sub-Zero's back. So there you go. So yeah, it could be that sort of way of going about it, which would work. I reckon that would work really well. Is that all you wanted to talk about, or was there something else before we move on to what Lou wants to talk about?
That's me done. I need to.
I think we've come to a compromise there, because I just thought, it's Baihan because of what happened in the woods later on. But yeah, now you've gone over the two points and the two areas. Yeah, it works a lot better. So that's a good one. Yeah, thanks. Lou, have you got anything you want to discuss?
Oh mate, I did actually have something, but trying to remember what it is.
By the other gods!
Just I forgot you was talking too much. In terms of like characters, like future, I know that you're gonna say Rain, like for sure, like, but like future characters, what are you saying for like the sequels?
Is that to me or to future?
Both. Will start off with future, like whatever. Like Dave, it's your host, mate. Like take it, pal.
You're in this just as much as I am. Future. As Lou said, what characters would you want in a potential sequel? So he knows that you're going to want Rain, so that's a given. So would there be anything else? Would there be anyone else?
Obviously Rain, but I'd love to see them do Motaro, because he is the most recognized character in the games for so many years now, because it's hard to do.
The most bypassed.
He is. Definitely.
Yeah. And he was more scarier than Goro when I was little, because of the sound he'd make and the way how he'd teleport and move, and he was really hard to fight. So he's just shoehorned out the way for Goro nowadays, and it's just like, I'd love to see them use him in a film and really give him that justice he deserves in so many ways. Him and Ermac, because the legacy version of Ermac, that was just some character from Lord of the Rings. I don't know who that was that they used as Ermac on that field. So I'd like to see a proper Ermac done justice.
Nice.
Definitely.
Was there any characters that you wanted to see, Lou?
Right. To be fair, I did actually think Ermac, but I'll throw in a different one right? So just because they don't like, he's new to the franchise, but they can actually use him. Maybe Aaron Black.
Well, it proves that he's been there from the start, really.
Yes,
exactly.
They haven't really utilised him. It's like they've used him like off screen to kill certain people away from the tournament.
Exactly.
So they could use him. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, it's just because obviously his age and like the little, because I was looking at it earlier, like there wasn't really like
he hasn't got much of a backstory. He's unexplored.
That's it.
He's unexplored.
That's it. And he's such a fun character. It's like such a favourite for so many.
Yeah. That'd be good. Yeah. I mean, the one I want to see. Sorry, Future Boy, you're talking.
Oh yeah. What I was saying was his backstory for Aaron Black was that he did make a deal with Shang Tsung, and that's why he's been alive for 500 years. He's been doing those type of deals with Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn, and he's from Earthrealm as well. But because he was such a good assassin, he prolonged his life continuously as well. So that's why he's able to carry on as many years as Shang Tsung can and everything like that. So they could use him in this, and I think it'd be brilliant. I'd love to see Aaron Black in one of these films.
Nice,
definitely.
Well,
good
someone said in the chat they'd like to see Human Cyrax and Nightwolf. Nightwolf, he's a definite. I reckon he's going to be.
Yeah,
for sure.
After the
Spoiler.
Oh, not really a spoiler because the picture's there. You know, if you go through all of what we've seen so far, you know, officially it's there. But the one I want to see is how they do Baraka. I want to see their version of Baraka because we've seen 3 different versions, and I want to see how they make him, how vicious they're going to make him look. Being a kind of nomads, how they're going to make him look. Now, I don't want them to look like they did in Legacy, where they were literally just orcs.
Oh God.
You want them to look like.
Let's just not go there, man.
And as Chris German is in the chat, I'll see his name. He's doing Chris German. On his streams, he does painting of all Kombat characters on computer. And the latest one he's doing is Baraka, and it's his own take. It looks more vampiric. And it looks nice.
Yeah,
it does look
awesome.
nice. And he says he doesn't know how to do the blades. Now, I come up with the idea of having like protruding shards that form into one shard. So they could be all over the arms and they just protrude out and close off into one long shard. So it'd be nice to have something different for Baraka than what we've seen, but it still looks pretty cool. You know, so you could see him with he's still got his arms and some shards stick out from all of his arms, but they all go in the same direction. And, you know, instead of having one long blade, it's kind of wavy and wild, but it's still, you know, it can still scrape off shards as like an attack, you know, like the spark attack. But instead of it being sparks, it's literally like spikes, like porcupines.
Sure.
It could, you know, it could do something. If they really want to ground the character, I think that's the only way they could probably do it, like shards off. That's the way I'd see it.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
It's a different version of Baraka from what we've seen. So yeah, like that's it. Chris says in the chat, splinters. Yeah. So Baraka's definitely one.
What a boy. Love it.
Apart from Shao Kahn, I want to see Shao Kahn.
How do you think they're going to do Shao Kahn? Like, do you think they'll do like a CGI?
He needs to be shown, and
I reckon it's going to be a mix, like Todd Garner says. He says it's like an amalgamation of human and CGI.
Right.
With
I didn't actually see
prosthetics.
that. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So, I mean, Future Boy's already done a video on this saying, you know, there's 2 guys. The one was Aaron Reed and one was Martin Ford. Martin Ford at the minute looks like he's got a bit more star power and size. and he's not shy to prosthetics. He's worn prosthetics before, and
yeah,
he just seems to think about getting big, and he just does. So they could,
Easy
if they
for
wanted to
some.
make him larger than life, just give him a bit more prosthetics, a bit of CGI for like eyes, red eyes or green eyes, and then just play off there and see what it looks like. But I reckon they do need to make the character a bit more real for interaction purposes.
Everyone else's camera has just cut off.
No, you know what? I literally
still here, yeah.
I literally thought like Future's like not moving at all. Like he's
stunned.
like
He looks
we've
like he's
literally
shocked.
shocked him. You have shocked him, Savage. Like literally, we're taking your name from it. You savage, mate. You frozen him.
Oh no, I ain't touched nothing. I don't. Right, do you want to click the link again, or you're okay as it is? Did you want to click the link again?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
Are you okay? You sure? It's all right. We've got this still image. You'll be able to see it later.
Yeah.
It's like in a constant state
your
of shock.
subscribers, mate.
Oh, it's stuck there. Oh, great.
It's stuck all over the place. Oh,
He's
no.
literally, he's gone. He's gone.
I know,
He's literally all over.
He's in a different dimension now.
He's in another realm.
That's it.
Raiden, help us.
He's in the Forsaken realm. That's where he is now.
Oh, mate. God, he always does this. Future. Whenever we get on the street, he just decides to go into another realm. Seriously.
Damn Wi-Fi. Oh, so if that's all we've got now, we've just hit the well, we've gone over an hour now, and I think it's been a pretty good discussion overall. We've gone over how we would develop Cole Young, or how I would, and we've just I tried to force you to agree with me.
We're on your channel, Dave. We have to agree.
You're banned. You don't agree with me. You're banned.
Blocked.
But yeah, it's been really good. I've enjoyed the discussion, and the streams worked out pretty well, apart from the last few minutes.
Yeah.
There's always one, and it just
Netherrealm. He's gone. He's gone. Oh, Mark, I've literally got your chat up as well. Like, I just wanted to see who was actually up. And Mark.
Well, now we've had a taste of this. You two guys can now do your own, and then we can go on each other's anytime.
Mate, I'll be up for that.
Time.
Definitely be up for it.
I think this has gone down really well, and I don't know if you know Ellie Moses. He's just coming saying interested to see what you guys think of the film. Was it a letdown? That's all I'm going to say. Now, we can't really say much because we haven't seen it. It's out. It should be out here tomorrow, but our cinemas are closed. The only way we can see it is on crappy video cam, and I don't want to see it on video cam if I can help it.
No, I think it'll be out for like
it's
YouTube
there, but I don't want to see
like
it.
that.
No.
Like, I think that was the thing. Future's back. Future. He's moving again. He's back from the Netherlands.
Wait, I thought I was back at.
No, he's like,
what up, bro?
Well, I'm back again. Thank you.
Yeah. Did you just go off to do a quick video or something? Is that what you was doing?
I think Sub-Zero got him.
Yeah, I went back to the future in it. I just went to do a quick video. Now I'm back already. So nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's
I've just got a notification saying like Future just uploaded a video.
He's playing to his name. Lovely. So right, we're gonna end it now. So I'm gonna let you guys have your last say on show yourselves, get yourselves out there and see where can people find you. Your Twitter, your YouTube. So Future Boy, go at it.
Okay, well, I'm anywhere on YouTube. Literally just type in Future Boy Kamikaze. I've never promoted myself, so this is the first time I'll do it. So yeah, do watch my stuff. Do go check it out. It's really good. I do a lot of that on Marvel, DC as well. Hardly them now because there's too much Mortal Kombat stuff flying around. But apart from that, You should enjoy my content. It will be really good. And I'm always up for options of if anything else you guys want to see on there or discuss about. So yeah.
What about your Twitter?
Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. Future Boy Kamikaze as well. I have that. I have Instagram. I don't use Instagram. I do, but there's far too many pictures of things I don't think I want society to see. So if you do come across
delete.
Your fans will.
Too bad now. People have already got that now. They're going to use it against you. Yeah. Blackmail time.
That's it. Everyone go follow him right now. Go on Instagram.
Lou, shill yourself. Your turn.
Yeah, sure. So it's Lou's Life on. I was about to say Facebook. It's on
What's
YouTube.
Facebook?
Yeah, what is Facebook? Mate, I don't sign on to that much, just to go off for the vibes. But yeah, no, Lou's Life for YouTube and Twitter, everything Mortal Kombat. I'm actually thinking of doing like a series for like playing Mortal Kombat, like playing random characters. And so if anyone's actually up for that, like give me a shout, follow me on Twitter, and we'll get going. And just one quick thing, like Mark actually asked something about these things at the back that I've got right here. These are like like Marvel characters, and he was wondering if I drew them. Like, no, I didn't.
You need to do
I
one.
bought it like that. And I've actually got another one like behind my computer. There's like a huge one, but yeah. I need to get another. I want to get a Mortal Kombat one. Like, it needs to go like here, because I got one of like Marvel and DC like being like around Jesus' table and stuff. So I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah, it's
boom.
Like Last Supper, isn't it?
There we go. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, just to answer Mark's question. But anyway,
well, I've got to say sorry to everyone in the chat because of the discussion and the flow of the discussion, we haven't had a chance to read through the chat, which I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for to everybody. But I'm so glad that everyone's coming to watch. It's our first time as a trio. Yeah. We didn't know how it was going to go. I pulled this up in just one day, less than a day. And we just thought we'd jump into it and see how it goes. And I think it's turned out really well.
Absolutely loved it.
So I've got to thank you two for coming in as well. It's been really.
Oh mate, thanks for having us, mate. Thanks for having us. Like, I got it. It's great. My phone's going all gappy, mate.
How long I don't know if you guys could even see me moving half the time. So yeah, it's been a great stream.
You're gonna have to invest in a PC and a camera.
Oh mate, just get your fans to buy you one.
There you go. Well, if you do live streams, you're now eligible to get super chats.
Oh,
that's true. Actually, I've never known it properly work. So, but it's interesting. But I'll think about the live streams. I mean, I think
YouTube take 30% of what people give you.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's something. You could do a live stream on literally anything. You cover most subjects, and you could do a live stream on literally anything, and people will just come in. And if you want their chat read out and put on screen, just shill out a couple of pounds. And they get a bit of exposure as well. It's just a way to get people to interact more.
Definitely.
But when I do my streams by myself, I do try to get people's comments in, because there are not many people in. But I do try to read everyone's comments. But it like you was on about the other day, Future Boy, about reading people's comments. If you've got hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people talking and you want to respond to them, but you can't, it's impossible to reply to all of those people. So people have to know that. People just have to know that if there's hundreds of people trying to talk to you, you're not going to be able to respond to all of them, but you are appreciative of people spending their time to interact with you. That's how I see it.
I appreciate you all.
We love you.
Please watch more.
You've got 3 of us to watch now. Now, when it comes to like the doing videos, you two are the guys that do all the videos. You do all the planning and the cutting and the graphics. But me, I'm I'm not in it for that. I'm in it for just talking. I feel like I can get more out, and that's just the way I'm going to do things. So it could be once or twice a week, depending.
Hear your voice.
And if and I've already put myself out. If people want me on their streams, just let me know, and I'll just come on. I'm not that much of a potty mouth. I get all my potty mouth out at work. So I've got
the same here. Do you know how hard I've tried not to swear in this? I have tried like mega hard. Oh, mate.
Even though I did set the stream to not for kids, you still don't really want to swear because kids will watch it.
We'll just reference them as swords, obviously.
Yeah. All I need is a bleep button. So if I'm I can hit the bleep.
Oh, mate, you should just have the Mortal Kombat sound. Like every single time we swear, it's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Or the gong.
Yeah. That is genius.
Ideas for both of you.
Oh, mate.
So it's been great having you guys on to have this discussion. I've been really wanting to do something like this for a while, as you both know. It was just finding a topic that we could get at least an hour out of, and it's worked out really well. We've us as a trio have kind of fleshed out a character that no one kind of likes, but I think if they did something like we discussed, it could bring on more fans.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see how they get on. So thank you very much for popping on.
Mate, thanks for having us, man.
I'll see you on the Twitterverse.
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to thank everyone for coming in and keeping up with us and putting up with us. And those that watch back. So thank you very much. Check out these guys. These guys do a much better job than me when it comes to videos. These guys have stuck with me, and I'm going to stick with them, with the bros.
That's it, mate. Mate, I feel the love, Dave.
I'm going to thank everyone from the rest of my group that can't be here. But if they do want to come at some point and do their own, we can add them in. You got Mark, who's here as well.
My man, Mark.
Yeah, he's the only one I can see here from our group at the moment.
Marky boy.
Marky boy. Yeah. So we could get him in at some point. Vass is here as well. She goes on everyone else's stream, so we could bring her in. King Sayo, if he wants to come in. Who else is there?
Oh, King Sayo, hey, my man.
Yeah, Chris German. He's one as well. He follows us as well. He's the one that does the painting streams.
We've got Vassy and Chris German in. A couple heavy hitters in the chat. I can't even see him, but yeah.
Oh, Alamaru is Aladdin. He's from our group as well. I didn't know that.
Right.
He's from our group. Didn't know. Now we know.
Oh.
Now we know.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
We have to try and change your name here. So
I'll set an alarm next time. I'll do like every 10 minutes. Be like, Dave, check the chat, man. And see who's in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm free after work for any of you guys to chat to me about anything.
Oh.
It could be any film related. It could be personal. I'm there. So
my DMs are open for you boys and anyone else that's watching this.
Nice. So everything's going on fine. Great. So I'm gonna let everyone go. And thanks for coming.
I wish you the best.
All of your views,
okay.
All of your views are not just mine; they're ours. Your views are ours. So that I've come up with a phrase, haven't I? Your view is mine.
Your view is mine. I love it.
So your view is ours.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
So lovely. We're gonna shoot off now. So thank everyone for coming. We'll see you on the next stream if we can come up with something good. Or if you guys want to do something next time, we could just jump in.
We could literally just maybe we should actually get on here once the film is out, a couple of days after, if you guys are up for it.
As well, from what we've discussed today, you've got more content to do your own spin-off videos.
Yeah, definitely.
So there you go. Lovely.
I got a couple
Yeah. Go on.
That's
He's already uploaded it. He's already uploaded it. I just got a notification on my watch.
He's like, he's
uploaded.
writing them down. He's like, oh, I've got all this now, yeah. So, I'm going to put my cam back on. Yes, I wasn't doing anything, I swear.
Quality.
Lovely. Right, thank you very much. And we'll see you guys later.
Definitely,
Nice
for
one.
sure.
Thank you,
Much
everyone.
love, guys.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Nice one.
See you guys. Peace.